do it. All right, let's get cozy.
So let's get a question.
We've got a question.
We'll field a question.
Oh, you did that.
Do anything. This means we have to drink. That's what this means. This the wheel said drink.
It has never ever. Well, wait. During our
Jensen, why don't you give us 4 shots of apple juice?
Well, we've all learned a.
Barkeep, 4 shots of apple juice, pronto.
We've all learned a lesson about apple juice. Why not? Why wouldn't it be?
This is the drinking music.
Because you work in a. I don't know, a ski lodge.
Let me tell you guys.
Who has the button that's playing the music?
Can I tell you a quick story?
My sister has forever closed her smile by the shies. Now hey, 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 we'll do some more. We'll dance and sing and fight until the early morning light. Then we'll grow up as a better.
All right. To JIB16, a great con as always. Cheers.
That's not apple juice.
Hey, everybody! I feel like Ruth.
Well, earlier in this con, Richard made Ruth drink that, and he told her it was apple juice, and she literally spit it out.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I actually thought it was apple juice. No one's ever done that before. He tried to pull off that they've never done that before.
Well, how else am I supposed to roofie Ruth on stage and pretend like I didn't know what was going on unless I act like I thought it was really apple juice?
Haven't they always?
By the way, I saw a clip recently.
All right.
And it was a clip of Johnny Carson interviewing Dean Martin.
All right.
And Dean Martin had a drink there, and Johnny Carson was kind of he was like I know you've got this shtick of where you like you drink and the whole thing. He's like, but I mean, come on, like let's be real, like it's apple juice.
Was Dean Martin offended by this accusation?
No, Dean Martin was unfazed.
You're just saying his reference.
And he took a sip of his drink and he was like, okay. And then Johnny Carson takes his drink and goes, and I'm not kidding, I think this is where the whole scene in Three Amigos came from. It's like tequila. Because Johnny Carson goes, hey! And this was well before that movie.
Oh, sure, of course. Obviously.
And I didn't realize that we were just pulling shtick from the Tonight Show.
The classics. But from the classics.
From the classics.
Yeah. The apple
You know
juice.
what? If you're going to steal, you steal from the best.
Steal from the best.
And that's what we've been doing here.
Yeah.
But funny thing is, though, it is just apple juice.
It's just apple juice.
Yeah.
It's just apple juice. From really fucked up apples. Just apple.
It's apple juice!
Now that! All right, we'll be fielding questions at...
Let's do it.
Let's have a question over here.
Should this brother okay? Well, I think that was a little bit of the apple juice spill there. Or...
No, sir.
Nope.
I'm sorry, I pottied.
That's something...
I forgot to mention that I pottied a little bit.
Happy birthday!
I got a question.
Boobies!
Has Ricky sat in this chair?
Whoa.
Let's not throw a black light on the chairs. Let's not find out. Let's just,
Just questions.
All right, Robbie.
Okay.
Yes, good luck.
Hi, I'm Okay, first of all, I wanted to thank you all for still doing this. I've been watching videos of this for half my life, and being here is amazing. So my question has to do with, I started the show when I was 12, and it was just another show I was starting, and I had no idea that it was gonna be like the one safe place I had, the one like thing that kept me going through some real dark times. not just the show itself, but everything that y'all like did outside. It taught me English, and English gave me community. And seeing like the drive that both you and the characters themselves help to help people is part of why I'm going to nursing school in the fall.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
And I guess my kind of really cliche question is if there's something that happened maybe when you were younger, a choice you made that you thought was pretty inconsequential at the time, but then had a huge impact on your life.
From like an entertainment standpoint, like watching a movie or that kind of thing.
Sure, if there's something like that, but also like anything.
Yeah. Well, I'll narrow the field to movies and TV and stuff that was influential. One of the things that really...
Richard, you can sit on the chair. It's fine.
It's
fine.
You know I starched
It's
my
fine.
pants. I can't bend my left knee.
I got a tetanus shot in the in my backpack because that's how I roll.
That's weird.
I'll give it to you.
It's alcohol. It literally would have cleaned
You know,
the seat.
you guys do know I stand a lot. Like that's I pace.
Well,
a
it's
lot.
making us nervous.
Well, you know what? Sit down.
Okay, Richard, you were saying.
I was saying that from a movie standpoint, an early movie that, I mean, I love movies anyway, but one that had a huge impact on me was The Jerk. I absolutely fell in love with like Steve Martin's kind of.
What about the bitch?
Another great film.
Yeah, another great film. It's great. Steve Martin at his goofiest, doing his first feature film.
It's the cans.
Yeah, he hates the cans. I was already a huge fan of his albums, but to see him doing his thing, it was awesome. So that had a huge impact on me on the kind of comedy I like and the kind of comedy movies I still like.
Yeah.
I mean, you're watching Will Ferrell, you're watching Steve Martin, you're watching Martin Short. They're all come.
You're watching Richard Speight Jr.
You're watching Steve Martin. I mean, he was a big and if you watch Jack Lemmon, you're watching Steve Martin. Like you could go back and see like where people are picking it up. It's fascinating to watch the baton be passed forward in the comedy space.
Apple juice.
Apple juice, no, same thing, kind of joke.
Ackles.
I would say there was a performance. I was a little older at this point, but I remember looking at it and going because it struck a chord, and it was River Phoenix's performance in the third installment of Indiana Jones, and I was like that. And then I went back and watched Stand By Me, and I started watching these, and I was like, oh. And then of course it was a flood, but there was something unique about the way that River Phoenix performed, because it was the most real I think I'd ever seen from somebody that young.
It's interesting to think about how famous he was in his youth, how massive he was. And we didn't know Joaquin, and then how huge Joaquin is having as the career he's had, after that all. It's crazy.
For me, I'm gonna go to books. When I was a junior in high school, I got in trouble for some stupid shit I did, and I was grounded, and I had to stay in my room. And I read The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. And I remember the feeling when, I don't want to ruin it, but towards the end, when you find out something has happened to The Great Gatsby, and it like hit me like a punch. And I was like, that's weird, I'm just reading words on a page. And then I thought, maybe someday I can be a part of something that tells a story that affects me and affects other people.
You did for 15 years.
Thank you. Thank you. That's super sweet.
Robert?
Yeah.
We need to talk about like a decision you made or something that influenced you that changed things, right?
Yeah, or like anything that you thought wasn't gonna have that huge an impact and then it did. But what they did is fine. Yeah.
I had the
No, I mean, you don't answer the
All I
question.
heard was.
For me, I had the opportunity. It was a play that I did, and the play kind of changed the course of my life and kind of influenced what I did thereafter. And I did a community theater play of Neil Simon's play.
Brighton Beach.
Brighton Beach Memoirs. Yeah, and Brighton Beach Memoirs it's so funny. And the character Eugene is talking to the audience the whole time, and like I love the fact that you break the fourth wall and you're just talking to the audience, and it just made. That's why I was like, I want to be an actor because of that, and it really just changed the course of my life, and the comedy in it just sticks with you. It's so funny, and it has really touching moments. The first time I cried, this is what I do. I was like, oh, this is what I want to do. Like I was really feeling it on stage in this one scene, and I really cried, real tears. I was like, oh, this is something else that's moving me, you know. And so I got to do this with my life, and that's what did it.
Thank you so much. I love you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having my strokey brain, for knowing me so well that I know what I'm talking about.
Well, I said that, and Jared and Jensen both looked at me like, huh? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I know his resume.
Yeah.
I've done my homework. Okay, over here.
Real quick, do you remember? Now I'm like playing it in my head because I'm like, Great Gatsby. I'm like, oh fuck yes, that was so like. I've seen the Broadway musical, which is amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, and the movie and the book and now I'm listening to it, so I'm replaying. I'm like, was mine a bad answer? Yes. But then I remember this moment that River Phoenix had when he comes out of the cave and he goes, everybody's lost but me. And I was like, comedy can happen with action.
Yeah.
Comedy can blend, because, I mean, you said The Jerk, and I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I know that movie, you know, from tip to stern.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, the comedy with the action. Yes, please.
Yeah.
I'll have all of that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a internal dialogue.
Good ad.
I felt like sharing. Good.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi everyone, I'm Camille. I came from Portugal, but I'm Brazilian.
Feliz Pascua.
Happy Easter.
That's all I can say in Portuguese.
Yep, that's
Did
all.
you just order a taco?
Feliz Pascua.
He's saying Happy Easter.
You sound Happy Easter.
Okay, well, Easter was a while ago, but that's
Well,
fine.
Feliz Natal to you then.
Feliz Navidad. Okay.
All right.
Feliz Navidad to you too.
Thank you.
We were there in December. He and I were in Brazil, Richard, and he kept saying Feliz Pascua to everyone. It's December. He's like, Happy Easter!
Yeah, you know what? And at first they were like, what? And by the end, Happy Birthday! Exactly.
Happy Easter!
I said Happy Easter to people, and at first they were like, what? And by the end of the weekend, it was a battle cry. It brought them to their feet. So, you're welcome.
But that's what you say when you poop.
So,
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for being part of my childhood and teenage years through Supernatural, and for keeping all this family together for so long after the show has ended so many years ago. This connection is very important to us. And my question is, what was the most challenging or embarrassing scene that you ever had to perform, and why?
in Supernatural? In the show?
Yeah, we'll go with Supernatural.
If you have any other, you can say it.
Your whole career?
We'll stick with.
Let's stick with Supernatural.
We'll go with Supernatural.
I'll start. So one of the most challenging but rewarding scenes that I ever did, unfortunately, was the barn scene with Jensen. I had 7 months. So we were going to film season 15 and finish like March 28th or something of 2020. And then COVID happened, and we go home March 13th. And so we have to go back to Vancouver, who knows when, later, to finish it. But we had like 6 months to kind of like deal with what's going on and what's gonna happen. So it was very challenging, but even doing it, it was hard. And when I cry, my eyes just go zzz, yeah, like full cry eyes. But that was very rewarding. But probably the most difficult sequence I ever shot in Supernatural was in changing channels when they put me in ski boots and had the nutcracker! Terrifying. And so they put my stuntman, Mike Carpenter, there, and he's like, see, so it goes, but it stops here. And so it's like on a hydraulic pump or something, and it goes and it stops right there. And so they put me in ski boots, and I'm lashed in, and I'm supposed to look at Dean and go like, I don't know the answer to this, but I was like this. I was so terrified. So they're like, hey, can you put your hips forward a little bit? Like, it's not gonna mess up. And I'm like, how do you know? And so trying to situate myself, I was so nervous that this fucking thing was gonna go bam and like hit me. That sucked. It didn't hit me. It all worked out. But that was one of the most difficult that I've dealt with during Supernatural, for sure.
Let's see why.
But it's funny.
Jensen.
Yikes.
Jensen Ackles.
Seriously.
Me? Yeah. You were
No, the other Jensen.
You were on the show, right?
I mean, I think I was. What was the question?
Hardest scene to shoot.
One of the more difficult.
Hardest thing to shoot.
In
Okay.
Supernatural.
All right. So there was a stunt that we had. I think I've talked about this. There was
Bullshit.
There was a stunt that we had to do where Jared and I jump out of this stained glass window of a church.
Yeah.
And we did that practically, which means that we legitimately jumped through the stained glass and out 2 stories. They had built the church on stage, so it was in a controlled environment, and they had laid a whole bunch of pads down on the floor. But we couldn't see the pads,
Right.
because it was stained glass. So we were running through a window it was candy glass, so it breaks easy. And the set was built up an entire story, so that we had the distance to fall. And he and I were like, I hope those pads are there. Like, we had to trust, just like he had to trust that thing wasn't actually going to break the governor.
We also at this point in time were like we were a set of like pulling pranks on each other. So he and I were looking at each other like, what if they're pranking us? And we're like landing.
Like Kim Manners had just dumped 2 buckets of ice cold water on us, like, whatever it was. And so it was like the crew was into pranking us as well. And we're like, what if there's something else outside this window that we can't see? And we knew it was how big? Maybe a 20-foot fall?
Pretty big fall, man.
It was a big fall.
That's not nothing.
It's not nothing. And we jumped, we ran and we jumped and boom. And I just went like this. I like covered my head and face because I didn't know what was gonna happen. And we hit the pads. Everything was fine. They were like, Jensen, you covered your face.
Okay.
I was like, yeah. And they're like, we gotta go again. Which means they have to take the entire window out and they have to put an entire new window in. They have to clear all the glass. They have to put a new pads.
It's like an hour.
It was an hour reset. I was so mad. And so the next take, I think I just came out like this.
What do you think I would say was your worst scene, the filming of it? I have an answer.
The into season 3 going to hell.
No.
That was awful.
No, you were amazing. Not how
Physically or mentally?
No. Like, what scene did you fuck up quite a bit?
This just took a turn.
And I had to kind of like be patient and go.
A line that was hard to say.
What would I say? What was the worst?
Shapeshifter.
No, close.
No, it was and I can't even say it. I won't say it. But it was me talking about how somebody did something to me. It was the Zorro mask line.
No, close. That's probably number 2. What's number 1?
Now we're into ranking Jensen fuck-ups.
I'm coming in at
This is- By the way, please don't post any of this. Please. Do me a favor. I'm still trying to work in this industry. They're gonna be like,
I was like, hey, Jensen.
this guy messes up a lot. And does it royally.
No.
What?
Really?
What?
Really?
You're gonna say it, I'm gonna be really mad that I don't know it.
The only time I've seen you on set
Struggle
in
hard.
15 years keep messing up was Sam Winchester keeps the rule by the bed.
What is this? What?
It's from Mystery Spot, and there's a thing where we're saying the same dialogue. It's like Sam Winchester, blah, 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 blah. And then he kept adding like an and I was like, it's not. There's no and in the script. Like we have to say it at the same time. And it was. I think the last day before the writer's strike in 2008, and so we were episode 12.
I single-handedly put the writers on strike
We added one too many words.
because I started adding words.
Basically, it's like Sam Winchester, blah, blah, blah. Sam Winchester, blah, blah. Sam Winchester keeps a ruler by the bed every morning when he wakes up. He blah 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 blah. But he kept you kept adding an and or something, and I was like, that's not in the script, dude.
Yeah, because I take the script and I make it my own.
Make it your own. Yeah. That was the only time I saw you like flustered.
Jared and I are supposed to go, so let's finish the. Richard, you do yours and I'll do mine. Hardest, when you and I are supposed to go, we're supposed to leave them alone now.
Take a
Can we stay
peek.
here? Can we stay here?
Fine with me. Stay.
They don't have anything to do, they just want to. I don't know. Can we stay? You're asking the higher ups.
The lights are on.
Well, Rob, go ahead and tell your story then.
Okay, I would say, we good? We're good to stay, guys. We got the the scene that comes to mind is there's a scene in season 11 where I'm God and Amara's are the enemy, and I hadn't been playing God like that for too long, and there's a scene where I'm up on this big box above all of you all, and it's Jared, Jensen, Mark Shepard, and Ruth and Misha, like all the heavy hitters of the show, looking up to me as God, and I've got to be like, and you're this, and you're like that, and you're me, God, you know, and look, I can act, I'm comfortable with the performance, but you guys, like it's hard, it's at this point we know each other really well, we've been traveling the world together, so as soon as the camera turned on me, I knew I was gonna get fucked up off-camera shit. At one point I think Jared had his hand in Misha's pants, with his finger on his zipper. I mean, they were doing everything they can to make me feel ungodly. And I was like, fuck, this is so hard. And I had to like maintain, no, I know more than you guys. Even though I'm just
You tell a funny story about doing a scene with Jared where you keep getting yelled at by the director
Yeah.
because his foot's on your sack.
Yeah. It was-
Going like tap, tap, tap
Yeah.
on your nards.
Yeah, he's tapping my nose and Showalter's going, Rob, can we please? And I'm like, it's not me!
Yeah, sorry.
Wait. Rob, what about when at the end when the Winchester brothers finally best God
Yeah.
and the Impala pulls away?
That was fucking hard. That was really hard. Yeah, because it was like the end of the journey for me, and it was. There's something about it that felt very real, and I was like, "Please take me with you." And And I played that in the thing, and I think you can tell, like, I'm really fighting it. And literally the dirt is in my face as the wheels spin away. And, it was the ultimate FOMO.
Well, there was also a bit of like, when you were down in like laying on the, and then we hop in the car and we're like, and I gave it a little extra gas, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's also the Impala is rear wheel drive. It's not four wheel drive.
So it kicks a lot of dust
So it
up.
kicks a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And I think I got in and I was like, I'm gonna pepper Rob right now, watch this. I was like, it just kicks so much dust. And he, at one point we drove up and he was just like,
It was good for the acting, because I was like, guys, no, please.
guys, stop, dude! Yes!
That sequence, and I don't think we've ever talked about this. That sequence we shot like halfway between Vancouver and Whistler. This beautiful. We did like a Jake Abel. It was the Braveheart. Whatever.
Yeah.
What's it called? Padalecki. So we were having fun. It was like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And you're an hour outside of where you're staying. So we were having a great time. It was also near the end of the show, and so everything we did, he was fucking amazing, obviously. It was days of us trying to, like, you know, have fun with each other. Like, you can't go back to your trailer, it's a 15-minute drive, and so you're just fucking around and like, let's do a funny video with a log. And then when Chuck throws Sam and Dean, they had dug out a trench and put like a 10-foot by 10-foot stunt pad in the ground, then covered it with sand, so that when Dean and Sam get thrown, we're landing on sand, but we're landing on sand that has a stunt pad underneath it that's like 8-10 inches thick. And so it was just a lot of fun. We had dirt all over the place and sand all over the place.
And we were quarantining, so we were like
quarantining. Yeah,
only us.
Yeah, I remember that fondly, but no doubt it was difficult.
I have such a fond memory of that.